Hi, Mitch Zlotnik here with Audimute Soundproofing. One of the most popular questions we get is the difference between isolation versus absorption versus anti-vibration. So let's speak to each a little bit and give you some clarification as to what that really means. Sound isolation really refers to the entire spectrum, versus the absorption frequencies are pretty much going to be mids and highs. However, there are different strategies in how you want to build in terms of handling both of those issues. Usually they go hand in hand. Just to give you a quick feel, this is our Peacemaker product, which is a very dense, very hard product, very heavy, a lot of mass to it, and basically is put onto studs and drywall to help really isolate the low frequencies, to keep those from the drywall from vibrating against the studs, and also help hold in those low frequency waves, which require a lot of mass to keep them from going into other rooms and transferring throughout a structure. So more anti-vibration, isolation. Has to be done in an airtight fashion. The absorption products, I can share with you that, are usually going to be lighter, they're going to be airier, they're going to allow the mids and highs to be taken in very easily, and they're going to stop them from bouncing throughout the room. They seem to travel, the mids and high frequencies seem to travel in straight lines. They'll bounce off of furniture, people, they'll be absorbed by furniture and people, and as they move around the room. So most often they're going to be positioned high in the room, but what's going to happen is you're going to eliminate those mid and high frequencies, which seem to be most of the nuisance frequencies that we receive, such as a band practicing in a garage. But once you remove those mids and highs from a space, you seem to mute your way to success in that the low frequency isn't as troublesome. Good example of that is going to be a previous practice space, for example, that I used to practice in with my band. And we used to have an area where instead of building an actual room inside of a room, we were able to mute our way to success by simply having about 18 sheets of Audimute in place. And at that point, outside the house was no louder than a passing car. And this, of course, is after several complimentary visits of South Euclid's finest police that would come by and tell us to turn down our stereo. Of course, we were all flattered, but recognized the need that we had to do something or we were going to lose our practice space quickly. So by doing absorption in the space, we didn't have to go through some of the more expensive build-out with the heavier materials, such as Peacemaker or mass-loaded vinyls, other things that are in that category, in terms of getting a space that's going to be usable and allow us to stay in that spot for a long time and not have to worry about finding a new place to practice.